네, 안녕하십니까. 영어 실용 연습 136일차 시작해 보도록 하겠습니다. 먼저 오바마 영상 들으면서 한 문장씩 따라해 보겠습니다. But at the end of the day, the circumstances of your life, what you look like, where you come from, how much money you have, what you got going on at home, none of that is an excuse. There is no excuse for not trying. I've given a lot of speeches about education. I've talked about responsibility a lot. I talked about teachers' responsibility for inspiring students, pushing you to learn. I talked about parents' responsibility for making sure you stay on track and you get your homework done. Don't spend every waking hour in front of the TV or with the Xbox. I've talked a lot about your government's responsibility for setting high standards, supporting teachers, principals, for turning around the schools that are working, where students are getting opportunities that they deserve. But at the end of the day, we can have the most dedicated teachers, most supportive parents, best schools in the world. None of it will make a difference. None of it will matter unless all of you fulfill your responsibility. Unless you show up to those schools, unless you pay attention to those teachers, unless you listen to your parents and grandparents and other adults, and put in the hard work it takes to succeed. That's what I want to focus on today. Responsibility is you as for your education. I want to start with the responsibility you have to yourself. Every single one of you has something that you're good. Every single one of you has something to offer. You have a responsibility for yourself to discover what that is. That's the opportunity an education can provide. Maybe you could be a great writer. Maybe you're good enough to write a book or articles in the newspaper. But you might not know it. Maybe you could be an innovator, an inventor. Maybe you're even good enough to come up with the next iPhone or new medicine or vaccine. But you might not know it until you do your project, for your science class. Maybe you could be a mayor or senator or Supreme Court justice. But you might not know that until you join student government or the debate team. No matter what you want to do with your life, I guarantee that you'll need an education to do it. You want to be a doctor or teacher or post officer. You want to be a nurse or architect, a lawyer, a member of a military. You're gonna need a good education for every single one of those careers. You cannot drop out school and just into a good job. You got to train for it, work for it, and learn for it. And this isn't just important for your own life and your own future. When you make of your education, will decide nothing less than the future of this country. The future of America depends on you. What you are learning in school today will determine whether we as nation meet our greatest challenges in the future. You'll need the knowledge and problem-solving skills you'll learn in science and math to cure diseases like cancer and AIDS, and to develop new energy technologies or protect our environment. You need the insight and critical thinking skills. You gain history and thinking skills, social studies to fight poverty and to fight poverty and homelessness and crime and discrimination, and make our nation more fair and more free. You need the creativity and ingenuity you develop in all your classes to build new companies. that will create new jobs and boost our economy. We need every single one of you to develop your talents and your skills and your intellect, so you can help us all, help us all folks solve, so you can help us all folks solve our most difficult problem. If you don't do that, if you quit on school, you're not just in your country. You're not just quitting on yourself. You're not just quitting on yourself. You're quitting on your country.
I know it's not always easy to do well in school.
I know it's not. I know it's not always easy to do well in school.
I know
I know a lot of you have challenges in your lives right now.
They can make it
They can make it hard to focus on your schoolwork.
I get it.
I get
know
it.
what it's like.
I know it's. I know what it's like.
My father left
My father left my family when I was 2 years old.
I was raised by a single mom
I was raised by a single mom who had to work. The struggle at times to pay the bills wasn't always able to give us the things that other kids had. There were times when I missed having a father in my life. There were times when I was alone, and I felt like I didn't fit it.
So I wasn't always as focused as I should have been on school.
So I was always as focused as I should have been at school.
I did some things that I'm not proud of.
I did some things that I did some things I'm not proud of. I got in more trouble than I should have. And my life was easily taken and time for the worst. But I was lucky.
I got a lot of second chances,
I got a lot of second chances,
and I had the opportunity to go to college,
and I had the opportunity to go to college
law school.
and law school and follow my dreams.
My wife, our first lady, Michelle,
My wife, First Lady Michelle Obama, she has similar stories.
neither
Neither
of
her
her
parents
had gone to college.
gone to college.
They didn't have a lot of
They
money.
didn't have a lot of money.
Hard,
They
and
worked hard, she worked hard, so that she could go to the best schools in this world.
Some of you might not have those
Some of you might not have those advantages. You don't have
adults in your life
adults in your life
give you the support that you
who give you the support that you need. Maybe someone in your family has lost their job. Then there's not enough money to go around.
Maybe you live in a
Maybe you live in a neighborhood
where you don't feel safe.
where you don't feel safe,
Or
or or have friends or or have friends who are pressuring you to do things. You know, all right.
But at the end of the day,
Circumstances of your life, what you look like, where you come from, how much money you have, what you are going on at home, none of that is an excuse for neglecting your homework and bad neglecting home, neglecting for neglecting your homework, neglecting your homework and having a bad attitude in school.
that's no
And
excuse
that's
for talking back to
there's no excuse for talking back to your teacher,
the teacher or
cutting class, and dropping out of school. There is no excuse
for not
for not trying.
Where you are right now
You
doesn't
are-
have to determine where you
Where you are right now doesn't have to determine where you end up.
이걸 먹고 불면증이 사라졌어요. 이젠 11시부터 6시까지 자요.
end up. No one's written your destiny for you.
Or was written your destiny for you.
Because here in America,
Because here in America, you write your own destiny.
make your own
You
future.
make your own
That's what
future.
young people like you are doing
That's wrong. That's what young people like you are doing every day
across America.
all across America. Young people like Jasmine Perez
Roma, Texas.
from Loma, Texas. Jasmine didn't speak English
Started school.
when she first started school.
Neither of her parents had gone to college,
Neither her parents had gone to college,
but she worked
but
hard.
she worked hard
got good grades,
on good
got a
grade,
scholarship to Brown University as
got a scholarship to the Brown University,
now in graduate school.
and
studying
now in
public
graduate
health.
school
On her
is now in graduate school studying public health
way to becoming doctor.
on her way to becoming Dr. Jasmine Perez.
I'm thinking
I think
about
about
Donnie Schultz,
Andoni Schultz
Los Altos,
from
California,
Los Altos, California,
who's
who's
fought
fought brain cancer since we were
Said
three.
there were all sorts of treatments and surgeries,
He's had to endure all sorts of treatments and
one of which
surgeries,
affected his memory.
one of which affected his memory,
So it took him much
so it took him much longer,
hundreds of extra hours.
hundred extra hours to do schoolwork. But he never fell behind.
He's headed to college this fall.
He's headed to college this fall.
Chantel Steve
And
from my
there,
hometown of Chicago.
then there was Chantel Steve from my hometown of Chicago, Illinois. Even when bouncing from bus to in the toughest neighborhood in the city, she managed to get a job at a local care center, start a program to keep young people out of gangs. She's on track to graduate high school with honors and go on to college. Jasmine and Johnny, Chantel
aren't any
aren't
different
any
from
different
any
from any of
They
you.
face
They
challenges
face challenges in their lives just like you do.
In some cases,
In some
they've got it a
cases,
lot
they
worse off
got it a lot worse
than
off
many of you.
than
But
many
they
of you.
refuse to give up.
But they really refuse to give up.
chose to take responsibility for their
They,
lives,
they chose to take responsibility for their lives,
for their
for
education,
their education,
set goals for themselves.
and set goals for themselves. I expect
That's
all of you to do the same.
why today I'm calling on
That's
each
why
of you
I'm.
to set
That's why today I'm calling on each of you to set your own goals for your education.
do everything you can
Do everything you can to meet them.
to you resolve to do.
Whatever you resolve to do,
I want you to
I want you to commit to. I want you to really work
I
on.
know that sometimes you get that sense from
I know that sometimes you get the sense from the TV that
rich and successful without any hard work.
you can be rich and successful without any hard work,
Your ticket to success is
and
through
your
rapping,
ticket to success is through rapping or basketball,
being a
being a reality TV star. Chances are you're not gonna be any of those things. The truth is, being successful is hard. You will love every subject you study. You won't click with every teacher that you have.
every homework
Not
assignment
every homework assignment will seem completely relevant to your life
at this minute.
right at this minute. You won't necessarily succeed at everything
First time you try.
the first time you try. That's your case. Some of the most successful in the world
Had the most failures.
us ones who've had the most failures.
J.K.
J.K. Rowling, who
wrote Harry
loved,
Potter.
who loved Harry Potter.
First Harry Potter book
The
was
first Harry
rejected
Potter book
12
was rejected 12 times
before it was finally
before it was
Michael
finally
Jordan
published.
was cut from his high school.
Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team.
He lost hundreds of
He
games
lost hundreds of games and missed thousands of shots during his career. But he once said, I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed. These people succeeded because they understood that you can't let your failures define you. You have to let the failures teach you. You have to let your failures teach you. You have to let your failures teach you. You have to let them show you
what to do differently the next time.
what to do differently next time.
So if you get into trouble,
So if you get into trouble,
that doesn't mean you're a troublemaker.
that doesn't mean you're a troublemaker.
It means you need to try harder.
It means you need to try harder
To act right.
to act
If
right.
you get a bad grade, that doesn't mean you're stupid. It just
If you get a bad grade, it doesn't mean you're stupid.
means you need to spend more time studying.
It means you need to spend more time. It means you need to spend more time studying.
No one's born being good
at
at all things.
no one's born being good at all things.
You
You become
good at things through hard work.
through hard
You're not
work.
a varsity athlete the first time
You're not a varsity athlete. The first time you play in a sport,
you don't hit
you
every
don't
note.
hit
The
every
first time
note.
you sing a song,
The first time you sing a song,
you've got to practice.
you've got to practice.
The same principle applies to your
The
school.
same principle applies to your school.
You might have to do a math problem
You might have to do a math problem a few times before you get it
You
right.
might have to read something a few times before
You might have to read something a few times
you understand it.
before you understand.
You definitely have
You
to
definitely have to
do a
do.
few drafts on a paper
You definitely have to do a few drafts. You definitely have to do a few drafts of papers
before it's good enough to hand in.
before it's good enough to hand in.
Be afraid to ask
Don't be,
questions.
don't be afraid to ask questions.
be afraid to ask for help when you need it. I
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it.
do that every day.
I do that every day.
Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign
Ask for help isn't a sign of weakness.
of strength.
It's a sign of strength.
It shows you have the courage to admit when you don't know
It shows you that you shows to have the courage to admit when you don't know something, and that then allows you to learn something new.
So find an adult that you trust.
So find the adult that you trust. So find the adult that you trust. The
Parent and grandparent,
parent and grandparent, or teacher or coach
counselor,
or counselor,
ask them to help you stay on track
and ask them help you stay on track
to your goals.
to beat your
Even
goal.
when you're struggling,
Even when you're struggling,
discouraged,
even when you're
feel
discouraged,
like other
and
people
you
have
feel
given
like
up on you.
other people are giving up on you. You feel like other people. You feel like other people have given up on you.
When you're discouraged,
When you're discouraged.
you feel like other people have given up on you.
And you feel like other people have given up on you.
Don't
Don't ever
give up on yourself.
give up on
When
yourself.
you give up on yourself,
Because when you give up on yourself,
you give up on your country.
you're giving up on your country.
The story of America isn't about people who quit when
The
things
story of America is about people who quit when things got tough.
got tough. It's about people who kept going.
It's about people who could go. It's about people who keep going,
Tried harder.
who
loved
try
their
hard,
country
who
too
they
much,
love, who love their country too much
anything less than their best.
to do anything less than their best.
The story of
The
students
story,
who sat
the story of students who sat
where
where
you
you
sit
sit
250 years
250 years
ago,
ago,
went on to wage a revolution,
and went on to the age of revolution,
and they
and
founded
they
this
founded
nation.
this nation. Young people,
Students who sat where you
young
sit
people,
75 years ago,
young people, students who say where you sit 75 years ago,
overcame the depression
overcame a depression
and won a world war,
and won a world war,
fought for civil
fought
rights,
for civil rights,
man on the moon.
put a man on the moon.
Students who sat where you sit
Students who said where you
20
sit 20 years ago,
founded Google and Twitter,
founded Google and Twitter and Facebook,
and changed the way we communicate with each other.
and changed the way we communicate with each other.
So today, I want to ask all of you,
what's your contribution gonna be? What problems are you gonna solve? What discoveries will you make? So I expect all of you
get serious this year.
to get serious this year.
I expect you to put your best effort
I expect you to put your best effort
into everything you
into
do.
everything you do.
I
I expect
things
great things from each of you. Don't let us,
Don't let your family
don't
down.
let us,
I expect great things from each of you. Don't let us down.
so don't let us down.
Let your family down or your
Don't let your family down,
country
or your
down.
country
Most
down.
of all, don't let yourself down.
Best of all, don't let yourself down.
Make us all proud.
Make us all proud.
Thank you very much,
Thank you very much,
God bless
everybody.
you.
God bless you. God bless you, Mike. 네. 네. 첫 번째 영상, 네, 잘 끝내봤습니다. 10분짜리 영상인데요. 네, 원래 20분 정도 끝났는데 좀 더 빨리 끝난 것 같습니다. 네, 그러면 여기서 how to have a good conversation이라는 영상 보겠습니다. 자막을 보면서 보겠습니다.
Alright, I want to see a show of hands.
Alright, I want to see a show of hands.
How many of you have unfriended someone on Facebook
How many of you have unfriended someone on Facebook
because they said something offensive?
because they say something offensive about politics, about religion, childcare, food?
And how many of you know at least one person that you avoid
And how many of you know at least one person that you avoid
because you just don't want to talk to them?
because you just don't want to talk to them?
You know, it used to be that in order to have a polite
You know,
conversation,
it used to be like in order to have polite conversation. You know, in your spirit, in a lot of that, in order to have a polite conversation.
you know, it used to be that in order to have a polite
In
conversation,
order that, you know, in your spirit, in order to have a polite conversation,
we just had to follow the advice of Henry.
we just had to follow. We just had to follow the advice of Henry Higgins
My fair
and
lady,
Fair
stick
Lady.
to the weather and your health.
Stick to the weather and your health. But
These days with
climate change and the vaccine, the subjects
are not safe either.
So this world that we live in, this world in which every conversation has the potential to develop into an argument, where our politicians can speak to one another, and where even the most trivial issues have someone fighting both passionately for it and against it. It's not normal. Pew Research did a study of 10,000 American adults. They found that at this moment we're more polarized, we're more divided than we ever have been in history. We're less likely to compromise, which means we're not listening to each other. And we make decisions about where we live, who we marry, and even who our friends are going to be, based on what we already believe. Again, that means We're not listening to each other. A conversation requires a balance between talking and listening. And somewhere along the way, we lost that balance. Now, part of it is due to technology. The smartphone that you all either have in your hands, or close enough that or close enough that you could grab them really quickly. According to Pew Research, about a third of American teenagers send more than 100 texts a day, and many of them, almost the most of them, are more likely to text their friends than they are to talk to them face to face. There's this great piece in the Atlantic. It was written by a high school teacher named Paul Barner, and he gave his kids a communication project. He wanted to teach them how to speak on a specific subject without using notes. And he said this: I came to realize that conversation and competence might be the single most overlooked skill we get to teach. Kids spend hours each day engaging with others and each other through screens, but rarely do they have an opportunity. Rarely do they have an opportunity to hone their interpersonal communication skills. It might sound like a funny question, but we have to ask ourselves: is there any 21st century skill more important than being able to sustain coherent, confident conversation? Now I make my living talking to people. I make my living talking to people. Now I make my living talking to people. Nobel Prize winners, truck drivers, billionaires, kindergarten teachers, heads of states, plumbers. I talk to people that I like. I talk to people that I don't like. I talk to some people that I disagree with deeply on a basic level, but I still have a great conversation with them. So I like to spend the next 10 minutes or so teaching you how to talk and how to listen. Many of you have already heard a lot of advice on this. Many of you have already heard a lot of advice on this. The things like the person in the eye, think of interesting topics to discuss in advance, look nod and smile to show that you're paying attention, repeat back what you just heard, summarize it, so I want you to forget all of that. It is crap. There is no reason to learn how to show you're paying attention if you are in fact paying attention. Now I actually use the same. Now I actually use the exact same skills as a professional interviewer that I do in regular life. So I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach you how to interview people, and that's actually gonna help you learn how to be better conversationalists. Learn to have a conversation without wasting your time, without getting bored, and please God, without offending anybody. We all have really great conversations. It happened before we 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 we, we all have really great conversations. We have them before we have them before we know what it's like. We have them before we know what it's like. We had them before we know what it's like. The kind of conversation where you walk away engaged, inspired, or where you feel like you made a great connection, or you've been perfectly understood. There is no reason why most of your interactions can be like that. So I have 10 basic rules. I want to walk you through all of them. But honestly, if you just choose one of them and master it, you'll already enjoy better conversations. Number one, don't multitask. And I don't mean just set down your cell phone or your tablet or your car keys or whatever is in your hand. I mean, be present, be in that moment. Don't be thinking about your argument you had with your boss, don't think about what you're gonna have for dinner. If you want to get out the conversation, get out the conversation. Don't be half in it and half out of it. Number two, don't pontificate. If you wanted to state your opinion without any opportunity for response or argument or pushback or cross, write a blog. Now, there's a real good reason why I don't allow pundits on my show. Because they're really bored. If they're conservative, they're gonna hate Obama and push stamps and abortion. If they're liberal, they're gonna have big banks and oil corporations and big chain. Totally predictable. And you don't wanna be like that. You need to enter every conversation assuming that you have something to learn. The famous therapist M. Scott Peck said, the true reason requires the setting aside of oneself. And sometimes that means setting aside your personal opinion. He said that sensing this acceptance, the speaker would become less and less vulnerable, and more likely to open up the inner recesses to his or her mind to the listener. Again, assume that you have something to learn. Be not. Everyone you ever meet knows something that you want. I put it this way. Everybody is an expert in something. Number three, use open-ended questions. In this case, take a cue from journalists. Start your questions with who, what, when, where, why, or how. If you put in a complicated question, you're gonna get a simple answer out. If I ask you, you're terrified, you're gonna respond to the most powerful word in the sentence, which is terrified. The answer is yes, I was, or no, I wasn't. Are you angry? Yes, I was very angry. Let them describe it. They're the ones that know. Try ask them things like, what was that like? How did that feel? Because then they might have to stop for a moment and think about it. And you're gonna get a much more interesting response. Number four, go with the flow. That means thoughts will come into your mind, and you need to let them go out of your mind. We've heard interviews often in which the guest is talking for several minutes, and then the host comes back in and asks a question which seems like it comes out of later, or it's already been answered. That means the host probably stopped listening 2 minutes ago because he thought of this really clever question, and he was just found and determined to say that. And we do the exact same thing. We're sitting there having a conversation with someone, and then we remember that time that we met Hugh Jackman in a coffee shop, and we stop listening. We're just waiting for a moment to interject our story about Hugh Jackman and coffee. Stories and ideas are gonna come to you. You need to let them come and let them go. Number five, if you don't know, say that you don't know. Now, people on the radio, especially on NPR, are much more aware that they are going on about liquor, so they are more careful about what they claim to expert in and what they claim to know for sure. Do that. Are on the side of caution. Talk should not be cheap. Number six, don't equate your experience with theirs. If they're talking about having lost a family member, don't start talking about the time she lost a family member. If they're talking about the trouble they're having at work, don't tell them about how much you hate your job. It's not the same. It is never the same. All experiences are individual, and more importantly, it is not about you. You don't need to take the moment to prove how amazing you are or how much you've suffered. Somebody asked Stephen Hawking once what his IQ was, and he said, I have no idea. People who brag about their IQs are losers. Brag, 자랑하다. Conversations are not a promotion or an opportunity. Number seven. Try not to repeat yourself. Try not to repeat yourself. It's condescending, and it's really boring. And we tend to do it a lot, especially in work conversations or in conversations with our kids. we have a point to make,
Rephrasing it.
so we just keep rephrasing it over and over.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Number 8.
Number 8,
Stay out of the weeds.
stay out of the weeds.
Frankly,
Frankly, people don't care about the years, the names, the dates, or those details that you're struggling to come up with in your mind. They don't care. What they care about is you. They care about what you like, what you have in common. So forget the details. Leave them out.
Number 9.
Number 9. This is not the last one, but it is the most important one. Listen. I cannot tell you how many really important people have said that listening is perhaps the number one most important skill that you could develop. Buddha said, and I'm paraphrasing, if your mouth is open, you're not learning. And Calvin Coolidge said, no man ever listened his way out of a job.
Why do we not listen to each other?
Why do we not listen to each other?
Number 1.
Number 1,
We'd rather talk.
we'd let her talk.
When I'm talking,
When I'm talking,
I'm in
I'm in
control.
control.
I don't have to hear anything I'm not
I don't have to hear anything I'm not
interested in.
interested in. I'm the center of attention.
I can bolster my
I can burst my own identity.
But there's another reason.
But there's another reason. Forrester. 자존감을 강화하자. Forrester.
We get
We get
distracted.
distracted.
The
The average person talks about 225 words per minute,
but we can listen
at up to 500 words per minute.
So
So our minds are filling in those other 275 words. And look, I know it takes effort and energy to actually pay attention to someone. But if you can't do that, you're not in conversation. You're just two people shouting out, barely related sentences in the same place. You have to listen to one another. Stephen Covey said it very clearly. He said, most of us don't listen with the intent to understand. We listen with the intent to reply. One more rule, and number 10, and it's this one, be free. Your conversation is like a miniskirt, short enough to retain interest, but long enough to cover the subject. From my assistant. All of this boils down to the same basic concept, and it is this one. Be interested in other people. I grew up with a very famous grandfather, and there was kind of a literary mile. People would come over to talk to my grandparents, and after they would leave, my mother would come over to and she'd say, do you know who that was? She was the run-up to Mr. America. He was the mayor of Sacramento. She won a Pulitzer Prize. He's a Russian ballet dancer. And I kind of grew up assuming everyone has some hidden amazing thing like that. And honestly, I think it's what makes me a better host. I think it's what makes me a better host. I keep my mouth shut as often as I possibly can. I keep my mind open, and I always prepare to be amazed. And I'm never disappointed. You do the same thing. Go out, talk to people, listen to people, and most importantly, be prepared to be amazed. Thanks. 네, 굉장히 빨리 끝났네요. 네, 34분 만에 끝났습니다.